for me, I started free on YouTube doing tutorials for a while, and I was like, wow, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of time, and I love it. But I really think I, might need a little exchange for that. I just thought this was scrapbooking. But I've affected people's lives in a deeper way than I've realized. And honestly, it's been one of the most amazing, transformative experiences of my life.
Hey there, welcome back to the Video Entrepreneur Podcast, powered by Uscreen.tv. It's me again, Rob Balasabas, Head of Partnerships here at Uscreen. I hope you're enjoying our conversations with video creators, experts, and entrepreneurs each week. And if you are, we would love for you to please subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcasting platform or over on YouTube on our podcast channel over on YouTube. That'll go a long way in helping us get this content out to other creators like yourself. In this episode, I'm talking to one of our very successful Uscreen users, Frances Long. Now, Frances and I will be talking about her experience building a scalable video business as an artist and creator, how she got started on YouTube and Uscreen, and really turned her passion of art into a business. Frances is recognized as one of the most easy to follow and memorable teachers in the mini album making niche. With her gentle approach and simple humor, Frances has inspired and entertained over 1 million people across the world. Her brand, Your Book of Memories, continues to see incredible success on the Uscreen platform and beyond, and Frances is a great example of what's possible as a creator and artist when it comes to building a Uscreen site. So without further ado, let's talk to Frances. Frances, welcome to the podcast. So excited to have you here. I've heard so many good things from a couple of our team members already about you. So I'm stoked to have a conversation with you and learn from you. So before we jump into some of the questions I have for you, maybe just take a moment and just introduce yourself and what your content is about, where you're based out of, and just a little bit about your history.
Well, it's amazing to be here, actually. Uscreen has completely transformed my life. So, Robert, I'm just super excited to be here right now. Anything I could possibly share to help spread the word about Uscreen, I'm all for it. So my name is Frances Long. I grew up in a kind of small, old farm town here in Central California. And I really have always had a love for art and paper. So I used to make my mom, when I was a kid, I used to make my mom and dad their own little cards for their birthday. And I would just, and I never thought anything of it. And I, started to grow up, and I saw something on YouTube that inspired me, and I wanted to learn how to make these scrapbooks. So now I just teach how to make scrapbooks from scratch online. So that's what I'm doing now.
That sounds so like straightforward. That's it.
Kind of follow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you kind of follow your childhood passion, really, and it kind of took off. So I'm really, really grateful.
That's awesome. Such a good, I know we're going to dive into it, but that's just awesome to kind of like that roots back to just your childhood even and what you enjoy. And now it's like a full on business. And
exactly.
You're like YouTube famous, which is amazing.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's awesome. Tell those of, that are listening or watching, a little bit about the business side. So you've got a YouTube channel, which is amazing. It's almost 30,000 subscribers at, the time that we're recording this. Mm-hmm. Obviously you're using Uscreen and that, but what's the business behind the content that you're creating on YouTube?
So I guess it's just really a community of people that are interested in the same thing. So, cherishing memories, and, most of the time it's on our phones, and we tend to forget to print them out and actually put them in this memorabilia. So this is a very inspired community when it has to do with preserving memories and basically kind of time traveling in a sense when you're looking at these old, pictures and stuff, or your kids growing up. So really the business side, I would say, is just I get behind the camera, I think of a design, and I kind of go for it. I've been called actually the Bob Ross of this type of craft. So people are telling me I'm calm. Sometimes they just like to watch me. I calm their dogs down. I've got so many random letters of people telling me that I just thought this was scrapbooking. But I've affected people's lives in a deeper way than I've realized. And honestly, it's been one of the most amazing, transformative experiences of my life. So really, it's simple. I just kind of jump on. I got a cool little background there, and I just start teaching away.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Like every frame is like can be an Instagram post, really. Like you've got the nice like
I try.
wooden
I
table,
definitely
right?
try.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Actually, it's funny enough. I was talking to my brother-in-law, who's a photographer, like by
Ooh.
trade. He actually does wedding photography. And yeah, we were just talking. It's like, like we take all of these pictures on our phone, and like next year, by this time next year, we've forgotten a lot of the pictures we've
know.
taken. Unless it's like Facebook memories,
Yes,
and
yes.
it'll remind you like, hey. It's like, hey, why don't we? He's like, why don't then he was talking about like, hey, maybe I'm gonna print them out. There's like still a photography printing place here.
Absolutely.
And, I print them out. I'm like, what are you gonna do with them? He's like, I'm gonna make an album. Like,
Yeah.
remember back in the day we used to have albums. So it's cool. This is literally what you help people do. It's amazing.
Yes, I hope I answered your question right. I didn't get too businessy there, but
No, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, you've got, tell the folks out there a little bit about maybe just on the business side, and I want to dive into some questions here, but, what your Uscreen setup is, like, you're doing monthly memberships, some free stuff, free content. Yeah. Describe that a little bit.
Okay. So really, on a simple note, YouTube is excellent, as well as, Facebook and other social media platforms, is that it's actually free advertisement, and it's like a gateway to really get someone to explore deeper what it is that you have to offer. So it's fantastic to have YouTube and those other platforms available. So really what I do is I'll do a demonstration of like a flip through of a completed album. And then I say, if you want to learn how to create this, go ahead and click, I'll leave the class link down below. And then, I have a trailer actually of snippets on the same YouTube video share that shows what my tutorials look like. So they can kind of get an idea of what it is that they may be purchasing when they do click the Uscreen link. So once they click the link, I do have the option to purchase individually, which is excellent because it gives these students, an opportunity to say, hey, I want a one-time purchase, or I want access to every single class she's ever created instantly for $20 a month. Or you can get, we have a yearly subscription offer too. So that's super great. It's like it knocks off a month and a half worth of payment. And if you're going to be a super dedicated subscriber, you might as well go, annual.
All the way.
So it's super easy for them to use too. And I mean, it's just clear as day. I love the Uscreen platform. It's absolutely incredible.
That's so good. A lot of people do struggle with, I talk to a lot of creators, even on YouTube, that are doing really well, have a big audience. And they struggle of like, okay, what goes into Uscreen, or what goes into my paid content, and what goes in free. But you've made it very simple, like just the way you described it. Essentially, you're kind of like, here's the final product on YouTube. But if you want to learn how to do it step by step, go over here to Uscreen.
Exactly. Yeah. And I did start free for a while. So that kind of gave me momentum in that direction. So what I would recommend isn't to fully go paid right away. You have to, of course, make sure you found something that you're passionate about. And the exchange for that passion is the value you give out to other people. And they happen to, do an exchange of their hard-earned money. And then it kind of becomes this transfer. So for me, I started free on YouTube doing tutorials for a while. And I was like, wow, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of time, and I love it, but I really think I, might need a little exchange for that. And so I went with the Uscreen, and I'm telling you, it just completely transformed my life. It was amazing.
That's awesome. That's so good. That's so good. Well, you are obviously, you're clearly an artist. Like, this is art that you're doing, but like, what sort of inspired you then to turn it into, I think you touched on it a little bit, what inspired you to turn it into a business? And I think at some point, a lot of artists, just in general, maybe I'm generalizing, but a lot of artists, like, they struggle with saying like, hey, I want people to pay me for like something I would do for free, right? I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I would do this for free, but what sort of helped you cross that or make that leap into a business side?
That is a really excellent question. I think about this often sometimes because a simple drawing can be one thing, but this drawing might take you a long time. You have special paper, you've got this certain type of pencil that you use. And for you, it's fun. And sometimes people think, well, if it's fun, then it should be free, But in a sense, it's, this is my heart. And the people who are willing to exchange their money for it will see the value in it. And those are going to be your students, or those are going to be your quote unquote customers. So for me, I think it was just when I realized I had spent really a lot of time and a lot of effort and focus and being thorough, and really saw my value once I actually got a Mac and I was able to, I know it sounds funny, but I got a Mac and I was like, you know what, this just upped the quality of my video editing strategy. And
nice.
I've reached a new plateau in my teaching and stuff. So I was like, you know what, it's time to start charging. And the people who funnel in there are the ones that support you, and the ones that, go away, that's their thing. So you find your students that way.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's really cool, because I even like, and kind of going back, the way that you had your different offers, where the different pricing, where, somebody may just like one particular design that you made, and there's an option to just pay for that. And then there's the monthly subscriptions as well for like sort of, you can get all access to everything.
Exactly.
Really, really smart. I'm curious, where did you get this strategy? Did you just come up with this so simple but brilliant? Like, did you come up with this, or did you get inspired?
You mean
just the pricing and sort of how you brought everybody from YouTube, or you bring people from YouTube, and what's free, what's
It was tricky. It was tricky at first, because I did disappoint a lot of people. I did disappoint a lot of people, and I knew what I was risking. So the transitioning period can be kind of tricky, and it may differ from person to person depending on what it is that their content contains. I've gone on to Etsy, one of those platforms for artists, and I've noticed that there were artists that were doing the same type of craft, and that they were selling either a written format of the class tutorial and paired with like a short video clips and stuff. And I was thinking, why can't I just do this on YouTube?
Yeah.
So that was kind of an inspiration to kind of go YouTube route. I was free for a while, and then I realized the story previous to start charging later on.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, that's so Etsy. So you're seeing what the artists and craft people are doing on Etsy,
exactly.
And it's like, I could do this differently.
Yeah, I think there's might be a better way, because I want several minutes and several hours to demonstrate this very specific art form. So that it needed more time, and Etsy wasn't able to upload as much as I wanted to give. And at that time, I think it was 2018 or so, YouTube had taken away that paid content little thing that they had in there.
Option.
Yeah. So that got kicked out, and I just started researching on YouTube. How can I monetize my content in a better way for me and my family?
Yeah. And that's how you landed on Uscreen.
Yes.
So then I guess, let's speak to the content creators that are thinking about this and kind of making that leap, monetizing their YouTube content, or, even Instagram or TikTok. Like, how many videos did you start out with when you first started out with Uscreen? How many videos, and how did you think about pricing, and, sort of those like beginner sort of questions that you had to make a decision on that, probably, I don't know. I mean, for a lot of people, they feel like it's kind of make or break decisions. Like, oh my gosh, am I going to go too high on my pricing or too low? How can I increase my price?
Yeah. No, these are all absolutely incredible questions. I was, again, when I was free, I had a lot of momentum, and I had many different types of classes already set up. So I think it would be great, maybe 10 to 15 courses, I guess you could say, already ready before you start. And of course you have to build, credibility, and you have to build yourself, and, make a community of people noticing you on whichever social media platform it is that you're using. And then, that's what I would say, about 15 videos or so of courses.
15 videos. Nice. Yeah. That's not too much to get started with, especially with a full-time creator, or like somebody that's on YouTube, right?
Yes, exactly. Because when they go in there, they're going to want to see like, oh, okay, I've got all these options. And if this person continues to add something once a month, then I know I have all this to look through. And if I don't like number 5, I can go to number 15 if I want. You got options.
Right. They can bounce around. Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Well, talk to us a little bit about your community. Everybody on YouTube, tends to build a community, just, just by nature of creating content and people viewing multiple videos and stuff, they get this connection to you. So how are you managing your community, or like where are you building your community, and how does that side of your business look like?
Okay, so YouTube, of course, is probably the main stream. So it's my main, expression of what's going on. And so within that, you get comments and you get people super excited, right? And I was thinking, you know what? I need a way to be able to bring these people together. So why not make a Facebook group?
Nice.
So I made a Facebook group, and now we're talking once I started to go paid content. I have a specific Facebook group actually for members of my website here on Uscreen. So they get to kind of chat with each other and share what they're creating in classes with each other, and they're inspiring each other and constantly they're just having a blast. I mean, they're having an absolute blast. And the way that I manage that is really, I just make sure I talk to each and every one of them individually. I catch up with each and every one of them, and I'm super involved. I don't leave one comment unanswered. And I check in with them. Each post, I make a comment, and they ask me questions, and I answer them either on Facebook, on Instagram, Uscreen comments, or emails, everything. I'm just constantly on it.
Yeah, nice. I didn't get to ask you, but is this now your full-time,
Oh, yeah.
content creator, running your business?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, membership. Nice.
Yes.
How was that immediate, or was that sort of like, were you already full-time before you even made the leap into
Good question.
building a site?
Good question.
Yeah.
Gosh, when I have a question and then I'm thinking, oh, wow, where do I start? Well, I was very lucky. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I have a son who's 9 years old. And so during that time, my partner was working. So I'm home with the baby, and I just came across this video on YouTube of a lady with her hands in this book. And so then I was like, wow, what is that lady doing? I want to learn how to do that. And that's when it took off. And yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother story, but to stay on topic, I was a nanny for my sister's kids for a while. And that was taking 5 days out of the week, right? And 9-hour days. And so I was thinking, man, I'm sorry, sister, but I need to chase my dream. I need to do this book thing. And I just don't have time to do my book stuff anymore. Yeah. And she said, it's okay, Franny, go ahead and chase your dream. I support you. So then I got to stay home, just with Samson, my son, and really start working and building that YouTube channel. So that's when I kind of went more full time. My 100% focus went on that. At that time when I quit that job.
That job,
yes.
Yeah, and you just dove all in. Was there sort of a point, like a takeoff point in your YouTube, like in your channel?
Yes.
It was like one video that blew up? Or?
Yes, it was, how babies are the most precious things.
Yes.
I mean, it's incredible to see how excited everyone gets, of course. And when I posted this baby video this baby book video, it was incredible. It just kind of took off, and it's probably, it was a lot of views at the time of my number of subscribers. And babies have our hearts in memories and them growing up. So, and then people started saying, I want to learn how to make this. And I was like, oh, I can't teach that. I don't know about that. And then I just tried, and they asked for more and more. And before you knew it, here I am.
Here you are. That's amazing. Okay. Well, in terms of your membership, is all of the traffic essentially from YouTube? Like all of your members coming from YouTube, majority of it? Are you doing anything else? Running ads or affiliates or social, like Instagram, or is there any other significant traffic source?
I would say YouTube obviously would be the most heavy in that. And then maybe after that comes like Facebook or Pinterest, and then comes the Instagram. Yeah. So, and I have never bought advertising or anything like that. I know that they try to promote that on my Facebook page and stuff like that. Oh, do this. And I'm kind of like, no, I'll do my own advertising for now until I see otherwise necessary. But it's really all on our devices. So I don't really go out and talk about what I do. It's all online based for right now.
Got it. Got it. Nice. No, that's great. That's great. I'm curious I'm kind of going back and forth.
That's okay.
So my apologies.
No.
So many things I want to ask you.
No sorries. No sorries.
Yeah. Going back to your community. So, is your community, like, is that something that takes up, like, I guess of all the things, content creation, management of your Uscreen site, different things, editing, all that stuff. Are you doing everything all, like, is this a one-person show, or do you have a virtual assistants or employees, or how what's the structure behind the scenes?
Wow, that is a funny question. It's actually,
I'm glad. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is really good. I've never had to think of that. It's all me. It's 100% me.
That's incredible.
And I don't ever really get overwhelmed, even though I get tons of emails and I'm just super excited to help people. But I do have to say that I have the most supportive partner on the planet. So he's constantly giving me ideas, saying he's an idea generator. And really, that's how he's helped his boss in his job. And it's amazing because Uscreen took off so much to the point where he only works 1 day a week now. So I make enough for both of us to just basically, we're like retired at like 27 years old, and it's kind of feels like a retirement. We never want to slow down. We always want to do projects and do different things and road trip and stuff. But he's my main support, and he helps me out mentally, cheering me on and motivating me, keeping me focused on what's important, and sometimes handling some difficult times. Sometimes there might be a, not so nice comment, and he's there to be like, hey, you know what? It's okay. That's their thing. And I just, that comes with the social media.
That's it. That's important though. That's actually really important to say. Like, I think actually all the people that we've interviewed, they tend to have, like, there is a support system, whether it's like your partner or spouse or a team or a mentor or somebody. So I think I'm glad that you mentioned that. It's very important to mention. Like, a lot of people don't even realize that.
Oh yeah. And of course my family has supported me the whole way through, again, in an emotional way. They say, Francis, you've been an artist since you were a little kid. I know that you can do this. And of course my parents are all, different generation. And they say, well, she's doing that computer stuff and it's working. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And again, so grateful we actually purchased our first home. So that was a whole nother step.
Congratulations.
Whole nother step. And I'm just so incredibly grateful. I actually cry probably once a month when I think about how these people out there in the world actually care about what I'm doing. And the best way I can give back is to just love them no matter what, even the people who aren't so nice, and just keep going.
Yeah. That's actually, that's something that we fail to talk about a lot, is like, we talk to a lot of the folks like yourself that are building all these amazing memberships and platforms and making, incredible success. But we sometimes fail to talk about the people that you guys are impacting, your own students and the members. And especially with your type of like program, you're changing, like, you're affecting people's lives, their memories of all the memories that they're able to sort of preserve and put on the coffee table and like look through and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like, is there like a story that stands out, that like the most random, or like somebody from across the world that you have affected?
Oh, this is hitting my heart. I don't want to get emotional here. Really, I've gotten, this is a good story. That's a good question. I have so many stories, but one of them,
I bet,
to try not to be too vulnerable on camera here. The fact that I'm saying that it means so much to me. It already means so much to me, but
that's awesome though. Yeah.
I had a woman come to me, through, social media, not really remember what, but she sent a text out, whether it was email or what. And, she was wanting my address, and I would like to send you a gift, So I said, oh yeah, absolutely. Sure. No problem. She sends it over. And in this gift box, once I got it, there was a card in there. And I opened the envelope, and I'm just examining it and the love that went into it, and just seeing the person's personality through their handwriting. And it's like, wow, someone wrote this. So I opened it up, and there's this little booklet of all these things she's wrote in there. And she had told me, she said, my dog has always yiped at me every time I am trying to do anything around the house. I try to go over here, and he's very, very attention needy. I really have a hard time getting anything done. And the moment I put your video on, Francis, that dog sat down and listened to you, and I was able to craft the whole time.
Oh, wow.
And that absolutely blew my mind. And of course, there was so much more in that little letter.
Yeah.
But that really stood out to me, and that one hit home. And she said I've transformed her life in more ways than she could tell me. And really, I think when you take any passion far enough and you unite and connect people around the world, it's a lot deeper than we realize.
Yeah. And I think, that's an incredible story. It's so interesting. Like, there's probably tons of stories like that people haven't told you or reached out to you, you know? And it's just, I can only imagine how overwhelming that can be sometimes, like in a good way, right? Like, you just think about it and you're like, oh my gosh, I have so many, like, all these things that are happening. But it's awesome. And especially now during sort of the time of the world and history we're in, where you can't meet up. And I think these are special connections, especially for people like that.
You totally hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah. So, no, this has been really good. I'm just so excited to hear what you are doing with how you're using Uscreen, and we're just such a small part of your success and your journey.
Shoot.
I have one more question for you, but before we do that, I'd love for you to just share with our listeners and our viewers where they can catch some of your content and check out your program if they want to check it out. Where's the best place to do that?
I would say YouTube, just because YouTube kind of has it all there for you. I break it down, and obviously I'm speaking in the video, so I kind of break down what it is that goes on, and just from a quick scroll, you can totally see what's happening. Also, Uscreen, I think it's the platform I use with you guys, my little website, is an incredible way to kind of brief yourself on what's going on if it's something that someone's interested in. So I would say that those are the two best places to check out.
Awesome. Cool. Well, my final question for you is just any word of encouragement or advice for fellow artists specifically that are looking to turn their craft into a business. Speaking to that crowd right now, what's something that you would like to share with them?
It kind of goes back to that story I was telling you about when it has to do with childhood. And I think that's seriously one of the deepest part of our souls, because sometimes when we grow up, we tend to lose sight of those things, and we get in the the hustle and the bustle of everything, and we kind of tend to forget who the real version of us is. And we put it away to go to college, or we put it away because we think we have to do certain things to fulfill other people's expectations of us, and we might not be chasing one of our actual dreams. So I would say, think back when you were a kid. What excited you? And chase that thing now as an adult, because now you have, the experience to kind of get online and, your alphabet, so you can get on there and start typing stuff up. And so you're an adult now, and I think it would be an excellent time to really, and honestly, and if you don't know what it is that was in your childhood, I would say to kind of just meditate on that, maybe at night, and get a journal out and be like, what interests me? What excited me when I was a kid? What excites me now? Let me go try to do that thing and see maybe what it turns into. And when you're at that level and you realize what it is, it's an incredible journey, because that's when it starts. Things start popping up in life, like, oh, you're at the coffee shop. Suddenly someone says something that you were thinking about. And it's like our reality is a reflection of what it is that we believe in. And once you start focusing on your beliefs, your reality starts to show you, hey, go this way. This is a new path for you. And then you kind of just follow it and be passionate about it. That's the most important part, because when you're happy, the people who want to get that value from you are going to be happy.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think that's, we talk a lot about like success and everything, and obviously monetary and financial success and all that. Also, time and freedom, right? To be able to do what you like. And, but I think this is like, just talking to you, I think just what you said there about just being able to do what you enjoy as a child, as your business. Yes. I think that's a measure of success. I think that a lot of people can't get. I think a lot of people can be financially successful, but miserable doing what they're doing to have that financial success. But you are doing kind of put all of those things together. So it's just excited for you. So happy for you.
Thank you so much. Yes. And I always like to remind everyone that no matter what direction it is that you're going, it all takes hard work and it all takes focus. And there's always going to be ups and downs, no matter what it is that you're doing. Whether it's wiping windows you're passionate about or making a children's book, it's going to be difficult. So are you going to do a job that's difficult that you don't like? Or are you going to do the one that you love and have that challenge instead?
Yeah. And no, you clearly have really figured it out. And again, we're just so happy for you. Again, I'm one of now the Uscreen team members that know you, and it's just
it's my
so
honor.
inspired.
It's my honor, really.
Yeah. We're so happy to have you on the platform and to be sort of working with you in this in your business and be a small part of that. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, Francis.
Goodness,
this is awesome.
Thank you, Robert.
And
by the way, you have my dad's name, so. Good association there, and I'll never forget it.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we'll have to have you back on here again at some point.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Robert. Tell the team hi for me.
Great. Will do.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you've gotten this far in this episode today, can I ask you for a favor? Would you be kind enough to give us a review on Apple Podcasts? That would be so awesome. And if you want to learn more about Uscreen for your business or want to join our affiliate partner program, head over to uscreen.link/podcast to get more information. And I'll see you in the next episode.